for the public.
Yes, sir. Now we are live. Simran, you may proceed, sir. Okay, sir. We can proceed.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to AKS IAS and Sambhavam group. So, guys, along with Diya Group's Sambhavam team, AKS IAS, we will be dealing with geography optional. So, through AKS platform, geography optional classes will be provided to you. But, any management issues that you have, Sambhavam team is always with you, and it is through Sambhavam team we are trying to communicate with you people. So to begin with, first, let me start about geography optional, the importance, how to study and all. I'll give an overview about the geography as such, so that it would be comfortable for you to prepare, and at the same time, to decide whether this optional is for you or not. Second important thing, at the end, at a time, I'll take up the questions, because if you ask any other questions in between, won't be able to communicate it in a better way. So at least for some time, let's ensure that we are focusing mostly on the issues that are there. So now, the first and foremost important thing, is about the optional itself. I always tell to people, students, the same aspect, that is, there are 4 subjects which normally decide whether you are in the list or not. And those 4 subjects are history, polity, economy, and geography. These 4 subjects determine whether you are in the list or not. Along with this, it is all about splitting from this. History, you have, modern history, ancient history, medieval history, art and culture. Geography can be divided into 2 more parts today. One is environment, another one is agriculture. Right? This area has become very, very difficult. Why is it difficult? Because there is no standard book from where questions are asked. Mains is a bit easy, but prelims is very difficult. These 2 are common for everyone. Geography, environment, agriculture, and to some extent science and technology is determining whether you will clear prelims or not. Fine. And geography students who are capable of matching this particular aspect is writing mains significantly. This is one of the main things that I was telling you, and I'm telling you again and again. So if you take 10,000 students, 3,000 to 4,000 students are from geography optional. And percentage wise also, the number of students coming from every optional will be more or less same. Geography is 1% more than other optionals. I'm talking about percentage conversion. So let us say in Anthro, if there are 40 people, if I'm telling 7%, that will be 3-4 people, right? So geography, if I say 100 people, if I'm talking about 7%, 7 to 8 people. So it's all about the ratio, because UPSC maintains it. But UPSC is also ensuring some standards with respect to the optional. Now, when I look at certain aspects, let me explain this in detail. If I take geography as an optional, you see, paper 1 is. In paper 1, I have history, I have society, and I have geography. Society questions are very, very general. History questions, if you know, everyone knows. If you don't know, everyone doesn't know. Geography questions in mains is equivalent to optional. Trust me, when we look at the questions, we get surprised that is UPSC asking in GS about this topic. The reason is they are talking almost to the optional standard itself. So because of this is one particular optional, right, where geography will be helpful for you. And in paper 1, most of the students score less. You will have some advantage of this. Then comes paper 2. In paper 2, you have polity. PSAR will help you. Governance, PABAD will help you. International relations. There is some basics of international relations with respect to geography as well. You will have some with respect to PSAR as well. Geography indirectly deals with certain basic aspects in IR as well. So if not completely, some overlapping is there. I'm not saying that you'll have a significant impact, but definitely in prelims, IR portions, geography will be very helpful. Then comes your paper 3. In paper 3, we have economy, we have economic geography, that is agriculture, industry, those come under economic geography. So economic geography part and internal security part to some extent has overlapping with geography optional. Because of this, majority of the students from geography optional perform well in GS. Then, sir, why? There are 2 questions which I keep listening to from students. 1, so, sir, the optional is lengthy, we have heard. Second, sir, difficult to score. Difficult to score. Okay. Third, some people have issues because of maps. Sir, we are very, very bad in maps. Some people have issues with diagrams. Sir, I can't draw diagrams. This is what I have heard. But guys, just see here. If you tell me that diagrams I can't draw, you can definitely think of other options, because geography is all about diagrams, right? So recently, when we had some talks with some people who are into the field, 40% of the marks of a question is for images or drawings, or what do you call diagrams, anything that you need to talk, diagrams. 40% will be for this. That means if it's a 10 marker, Let us say it's a 10 marker. I need at least one diagram. 15 marker. I need at least 2 diagrams. 20 marker. I need at least 3 diagrams. And guys, in school days, when you did biology, when you had these biology classes, so I think in 9th or 10th, you might have seen about heart, like, kidneys, lungs, diagrams. And if you recollect, you had drawn them multiple times to practice. And that's how we score as well. In the recent past, I have not seen, like, many students who work on diagrams. I really don't understand this. Diagrams are like maths, because maths, when you see, you feel you understood. The moment you start solving, you forget. Same with diagrams. When we look at it, we feel we know. But when we have to represent, we forget things. Same thing is happening with students. That's the reason marks is reducing. Trust me. Because openly, people do not have a fair idea of the marks distribution. The faculties who are evaluating are clearly informing, sir, if I'm giving 10 marks, I have to give 4 marks for diagram. I have to give 6 marks for answer. However you write, out of 6, you get only 4. And if you have not written diagram, out of 10, you are scoring only 4 marks. And I'll tell you the other thing. Geography is not social studies. It's not about history. Okay, this king came. It's not polity articles. It is science, social science we call. And in a science subject, understanding the concept with the diagram is important. Here I would try to take an opportunity to tell you how exactly you need to focus on answer writing, not just in optional, but also in GSS, just for 2 minutes. You see the case, first most important thing, like, very simple thing, but just think in a broader manner. That's what I want. See, one basic aspect that students forget is, let me say a question is given to you about geostrophic wind. Okay. Or let me take a concept which you might have heard as well, so that it would be easier. Now, what is the concept? Let's take, like, rainfall. Rainfall. If they ask you, what are the different types of rainfall you have? Fine. So we have something called as convectional rainfall, orographic rainfall, cyclonic rainfall. And someone wrote an answer saying that, like, only theory is there. Okay, theory is there. I'll just tell you and then explain the concept. You see, whenever we have a mountain, right? Whenever we have a mountain, when the wind comes and hits the mountain, the wind rises slowly. And as the wind rises slowly, the wind will cool to form clouds. And these clouds, as and when they rise, they will give rainfall. And when they move on the leeward side, that is on the other side of the mountain, moisture is not there, air descends, and as air descends, there won't be rainfall. I will explain you a concept like this. How many of you will be really able to understand this? Because you read the lines, okay, I understood. Clarity won't be there. But just imagine that I will take some extra effort and I'll draw a mountain and I'll say that wind is coming. As the wind rises, it will form clouds. Further rises, it will give rain, and then air descends. So here, as rainfall is there, we call wet region. Here, as rainfall is not there, we call it dry region. This side is called as windward side. This side is called as leeward side. Windward side rainfall occurs, leeward side rainfall doesn't occur, and this is a mountain. Now, how many will understand significantly more? Now, I want to give an example. So, let's say people wrote this, they want to give an example. When they give example, guys, if they draw like this, let's say India, you have Western Ghats. Wind blows like this. 1 and 2. This side will be windward. This side will be leeward. This side you will have more rainfall. This side you will have less rainfall. So here you will have more rainfall. Here you will have less rainfall. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Evaluator will understand. Forget about evaluator. Let's a common man read your answer. Right? Anything. Today, Israel-Palestine issue is there. Anything for that matter. When you write an answer, remember, you're talking to a common man. A person who don't know the concept. If he can understand the concept with your answer, if he can read and understand just by reading your answer, that is the best answer. Other subjects are imagination. Geography is the practicality. The moment you bring diagrams, many students were texting me recently that, sir, we are able to understand the class better because you explain through diagrams. I'm telling the same thing for you also. I would love you to be in the list. And on that day, when you score more marks, you will tell to others that, I drew diagrams and that gave me marks. The same appreciation you get for scoring more marks because you also explained the things with diagram. So 1, I explained with diagrams. 2, in the exam you explain with diagrams. But in between, there is a process. What is the process? Practicing diagram. When I teach you geography, I really don't expect you to go back and read books. Don't read big books. Don't read many books. I will ensure that we will teach in such a way that any question for that matter, you will be the best. But as soon as you go back, if you can redraw the maps, redraw the diagrams. Let's say someone came to you and asked you, I didn't understand this. Can you explain? Don't use words. Don't use words. Words are simple. Use diagrams. Draw in front of them and tell them this is what it is. The same thing every day, you have to practice after the class. Sir, I'm really good in diagrams, sir. I can do anything. Wonderful. And diagrams are not so difficult, guys. These are the diagrams that you will have. You won't even draw India map completely everywhere. Right? Diagrams are very simple. But the point is, representation should be there. You know how bad people do diagrams? I'm worried because it's not about the concept. It's about the diagrams. Like, the same thing, let me say. You know how people draw in the exam? It won't be neat. They draw in pen, right? Some people scratch as well. School days, how you were representing. The same thing you need to do now. But the point is, I don't want to do. Why? Because I'm in a hurry. Reason is I'm in a hurry. Even if you are in a hurry. See, we tell people, you should practice drawing map in 30 seconds. That is what we mean practice. I would say, sir, I can practice diagrams and I can write diagrams in the exam. This is the most easiest paper, guys. This is the most easiest paper. Second, you see, I always suggest people to have notes, right? So, notes is very important for any optional. I understand the value of the notes because students, when they write in their own language and when it is in their hands, revising them, you see, after your GS subjects till optional, you will have 5 days gap. You'll have 5 days gap. In these 5 days, if you can revise well, optional score increases. What is revision? Reading your notes and drawing diagrams. So this notes, I will dictate in the class. I know the value of the notes. So I dictate class notes to you. Concept I'll explain. I'll tell what to have. And I'll also give you diagrams that you need to draw. Simple diagrams also I'll make you draw. So that the class notes should be ready. Right? Second, along with this, we need to have case studies. Case studies are very, very important. What are case studies in geography? What are you talking about? See, let us say, floods in Sikkim, glacial lake outburst in Sikkim. So when they ask you floods, you need to give example of Sikkim. You need to explain what happened there. So that is called as case study. Right? So I would say, if you have more case studies, the way you answer in paper 2 improves a lot. Right? So paper 2, you see, now I'll tell you. Paper 1, paper 2. Paper 1, 90% is static. Paper 2, 90% is GS paper. You don't listen to my class, prepare for GS, go to exam. You will be able to score very well in paper 2. The reason is paper 2 is full of GS. But here, to make it more attractive, what you need is case studies. Here, to make it more attractive, what you need is diagrams. Fine. So scoring is easier on the basis of these two aspects, guys. Nothing much. Right? The next thing is, after talking about the improvements, I was telling you it is difficult to score. If you say it is difficult to score because you have not drawn diagrams, you are not writing case studies, you are not having clarity on the question itself, that is a problem. That is a problem. I'll tell you a very simple thing. NCERT book gives a word called as geostrophic wind. And this was asked in the exam. Geostrophic wind. This was asked from where? NCERT is. And I was talking to a student. He said, sir, I don't remember. Second, he wrote something else. Misinterpretation of the question. Every subject has this problem. People who are not clearing the exam, their main concern is this. So, see, out of 2 to 3 lakh people who write prelims, hardly 10 to 15,000 enter mains based on the percentage ratio. If 10 to 15,000 are entering, others are doing some mistake. That's why they are not entering. What are the mistakes? I didn't read question properly. I didn't mark properly. So if people are telling me I'm not able to score when I look at their answers, when I ask them, when I discuss, I get to know that their concept is fundamentally misunderstood. Why? See, not only people who are from me, wherever they are taking coaching, doesn't matter. I'm talking from a student point of view. It doesn't matter where they take coaching, what they are doing and all. Student is a student at the end of the day, because he will have his own fundamental problems. So when we look at that particular aspect of a student, he is not able to understand the question because his preparation is not up to the mark. Right? So scoring is not happening because questions, they are not understanding, diagrams are not there, case studies are not there. And I'll tell you one simple reason why majority of the people are scoring less. I'm telling you, if there are 100 people who are scoring less, why are they scoring less? I'll tell you. Revision. I'll explain this. So let us take public administration. You have thinkers like Weber, right? You have to read about a lot of thinkers. PSAR. You have to remember Western philosophers, Indian philosophers, right? What they told, what they have to. Anthropology. Sir, I have never read Anthro. I took because it is scoring. So I'm reading a lot. So what all I'm doing 3 things. Bad people, immediately after prelims, they're sitting and reading thinkers. PSIR people are focusing on philosophers, ideologies, because nowhere in GS they read it. These people also nowhere they read. Bad people, there are 40 to 50% where nowhere they read. PSIR part A and part B, they don't read anywhere. Almost 250 marks, they won't read anywhere. Anthropology, 500 marks, they won't read anywhere. Who is reading? Who is not reading at all? See, all these GS overlapping is not there at all. As GS overlapping is not there, these people spend 4 hours every day immediately after prelims and prepare for optional. Right? And our geography students, you see the problem. They will see the syllabus, geomorphology, I know. Climatology, I know. I read in GS, I read for prelims. Oceanography, I know. Environment, I have read more because prelims you read more compared to mains. Economic geography, I know. Indian geography, paper 2, I told even without you read, you go and score. 3 chapters are new to you. And students are very good in 3 chapters because that is the first chapter they take. Because rest all they have done. So between prelims and mains, if you have 3 months time, if other optional students prepare for all the 3 months, do you know what geography optional students will do? They will tell me, openly they tell me, sir, I will read optional for 15 days. Because only 30% is new. 70% I have already read. I revise later. I will focus more on GS. My scores will improve in GS. This is what they tell me. I'll be like, why? They'll be like, sir, I have not read history. I have not read polity. That means I'm not so comfortable in polity. Ethics I need to practice. Essay I need to practice. Geography students are more into GS. Right? Others, everyone is in optional. They are sitting and by hearting, sitting and by hearting. Because for them, without by hearting, they can't write. There is no time for you. See, CSAT, everyone knows that is the deciding factor. Even today, 60% of people who have the capacity to clear prelims, they're not clearing because of CSAT. Why they're not clearing because of CSAT? Why failure in CSAT is more? Practice, no practice. Every day, if I practice for 10 to 15 minutes, I'll be in the list. But I don't want to be in the list. I have a feeling I want to be in the list. But I really don't know what to do to be in the list. Every day, 15 minutes, if I'm not working on CSAT, if I'm not putting time and effort in recollecting it, problems, how will I solve in the paper? Exam. Suddenly, one fine day, people went, they sit in the examination hall. IITians guys have not cleared CSAT. I have students, like, best students whom I thought they'll be in the list, they lost due to CSAT. And do you know their GS score 130? Scoring 100 is difficult. These people are scoring 120, 130 easily. CSAT, no. Why? They didn't read. When we ask, we know, sir. Same geography as well. Sir, we know. Sir, we know what is climatology. Why to waste time? Let's score more in other subjects. I perform extremely well. This overconfidence kills people. Because 3 months' time, you would have read so many subjects. This geography would have reduced. And all of a sudden, if you keep, you won't have the skills to rewrite. That's where you lose. Right? So this is one aspect, guys. So let me tell you, I can promise you on this, 70% of the syllabus, without putting much effort, right? Without putting much effort, is covered because of your prelims and GS preparations. Complete GS preparation, sit, you will tell, I'm done with this. I can do these questions easily. Easily. GS question standard is more compared to prelims question standard. And you know the worst part with geography? Out of 500 marks, 400 plus is repeated, guys. Can you imagine? Repeated. Language changes. Once it is discussed, another one it is critically evaluated. Language changes, but question is same. And you know the problem is, I really don't understand the people here. See, first I'm telling all the negatives, then I'll come to positives of the papers. 90% of the students have this tendency to read question answers. Question answer. Right? So there will be a question, answer will be there. Take that booklet by heart and go. Okay, good. Well done. What is the question you read? What is plate tectonics? Explain Himalayas formation. Very good. You read the answer. Faculty has also given you very good answer. You go to exam. Exam. Explain Himalayas formation. This is the question. Right? Now you will remember this question and answer. Wow, question came. What sir told? I'll write. What I'll write? I'll write plate tectonics. I'll write Himalayas formation. You see this. If this is for 20 marks, if this question is for 20 marks, I have to write plate tectonics for 15 marks. 5 marks I have to write for Himalayas formation. But here, I need to talk about Himalayas for 5 marks. I need to talk about continental drift theory, plate tectonics, geosynclinal theory. All these theories I need to talk for 15 marks. But students have a tendency to rewrite this. Please don't trust question answer format. Questions changes, look similar, but answer doesn't match the question. So please don't do these silly mistakes which people do. I hope you're understanding the context in which I'm trying to tell you. That clear this exam easily in one attempt and go. Put your brain behind it. Don't sit and by heart. Right. Then I told you one more problem is scoring is less because people feel their language is not enough. Because geography, language is diagramless. What people do or check is diagram. People don't check other aspects. So this diagram should speak and it will help you to score. Right? Don't worry about language. And I'm not very good. Geography is for you if your language is bad. If you say, sir, I can't talk effectively, I can't write good English, then geography is for you because diagrams speak for you, not your English. Fine. Then comes the length of the paper. Length of the paper. Many people have a tendency to say that, sir, it's very lengthy. How can we read? See, if I study world temperature, if I study world climate, I can talk about world agriculture. I have to interlink world temperature, world climate with world agriculture. If you have attended GS classes, you would have understood the way we were interconnecting. So, if you look at this, I can help you to complete the syllabus in 3 to 4 months. You should not spend more than 3 to 4 months in taking coaching or completing the optional. Why? Because you have to interlink and write. If you are not writing it with interlinking, you are losing the game. You lost the game. Why? Because, let me tell you this. If I know that in a particular area, sugarcane is grown, right? In agriculture, I am reading, in a particular area, sugarcane is grown. And I know a basic concept taught to me by the faculty that sugarcane, if I transport beyond 100 kilometers, sucrose content reduces. Now, because of that, sugar industry should be present closer to sugarcane growing areas. Okay. Now, in agriculture, I studied where sugarcane is cultivated. I remembered, again, when I go to sugar industry, if I start by hearting where sugar industry is there, I forgot sugarcane. I'm not recollecting sugarcane, but I am trying to focus on sugar industry separately. What is going to happen? How much will you remember? And you know, only industry chapter, you have 200 pages in textbooks. I can teach you 200 pages and ensure any question you can answer them within 3 hours. You give me 3 hours, those 200 pages I'll ensure you will write in a perfect manner. Why? Logic is there. That logic people are not understanding. So what they're doing, they're by hearting 200 pages afresh. So it looks lengthy, right? Once you attend these lectures, once you go to examination hall, you'll be like, I know anything, I can write anything. Your preparation should be like, let him ask anything, I will write. Your preparation should not be like, God, I have read these 5 chapters. Let they ask only from 5 chapters. We go to college exams, right? That I read these 4 questions, the same question should come. This is the tendency. 1 year, 1 attempt, sincere attempt, if you are able to give, it's easier. One of the basic thing Sambhavam team asks us regularly is, sir, we need results. Please guide our students. We want to ensure that the poorest of the poor is able to get the rank in the first attempt. Because that gives a lot of confidence to majority of the people. Just think, like, you know, a rich person, minister's son, IIT graduate, someone, if he gets a rank, people will be like, okay, rich people, they might have got. But if a poor gets, right, it inspires everyone. And they are trying their level best to ensure you are in the list by identifying some of the best people across. If you people can also think in that manner and work with us for next 1 year in a systematic manner. See, here and there it happens, but maximum 2 attempts you must be in the list. Shouldn't spend more time on this. Don't get diverted about other exams and all for a while. Utilize the opportunities. Utilize the opportunity, because very few people and group put efforts in this manner to see the success, right? When you look at soldiers, when you look at certain people living their lives, living their families, working for ideologies, very few people work with that honesty and with that effort. So when that effort is being put on you, like, you know, you should be the best. And even in the class, you might have seen, like, you know, in number of doubts, in number of times you ask. None of the team has ever called and told, sir, don't take so many questions. Don't waste your time. Never. When we asked for a particular number of hours to complete, they told, sir, take more hours, but ensure, like, you know, students' doubts are clarified and clarity is improved. So this is from their end. Now from your end, if you have reasons, I have given what all reasons people have. And in these reasons, how to overcome, I have told. Now let me talk about the advantages, guys. If you take geography optional, 80 to 90% possibility you clear prelims, guys. The toughest part is done because of this. And if you are bad at CSAT, practice, else GS wise, yes, you will be able to do perfectly. Second, 70% of the syllabus is GS. So less effort. Right? As it is semi-science, scoring is easier. But you need to do diagrams. Next, sir, is it a technical subject? Yes, technical, but not difficult to understand. Not at all difficult to understand. Easy to understand and easy to reproduce as well. Right? Along with this, there is a way to read. So in the first class, I will be telling you how to read. Syllabus, how to link and read. I'll dictate in detail so that should be the first page. It would be easier for you. Now, books is. The first most important thing is material. See, we will be providing you soft copy of material, like, made by me. We will be sharing it with you so that comfortably you can read. But this is for reference. The most important thing is your notes. Apart from this, you need to buy one book, Savindra Singh. People say many other books, guys, but still I prefer this because language of the questions are from this book. Don't read entire book. Use it as a reference book. That is, let us say I taught you a theory. Read that theory from the book. That should be more than enough. Don't go beyond that. Fine. Reference. I want you, Savindra Singh has different books for geomorphology and all. I want you to go for physical geography overall book, where everything is there in one book. Another book is Majid Hussain sir's two books are there. One is Human Geography book. Another one is Indian Geography book. Kuller has become little old, guys. So I would say, see this. These three books, if you have, more than enough, guys. Remaining, there are multiple books. What I do is, certain pages from different books, I photocopy, scan and send it to you so that you need not purchase lot of books. Fine. This is what is required. So guys, now, if you have any doubts, ask me. Before that, I'll just tell a few more points. Guys, the entire geography optional will be provided to you in AKS app, and it will be available to you at least till, once you complete the course, 6 months. That means somewhere closer to your mains, you will have access to this particular classes. Second, you can watch the recorded videos. The main reason for this, I'll tell you. The class timing, live class timing is from 5 to 8. You will have GS classes at that time. One day you attend, one day you don't attend. There will be a lot of issues. So recorded classes will be available, which you can watch them in the mobile and also in the laptop, right? And most importantly, tests. So there is a way to read this. So let us say a particular topic is done. Immediately after that, there will be a test. Now in the class, when I say there is a test to you, right? Question paper will be sent. All the answer scripts, you can either upload through the app or through their team. You can send it. Personally, I will evaluate and send it back. I will call you and give feedback also if you want. Not only now, after your prelims as well, there will be another round of test series, which would be conducted personally by me, evaluated by me, so that will also be part of the program. Soft copy of the material, classes, tests, all this. The actual cost of this is 35 to 40,000 guys. But their team is talking and it is trying to give you at a very best price. So if you have liked the subject, if you are positive about the subject and GS classes you are listening, and if you're comfortable with that, definitely you can go ahead with this optional. At that time, my suggestion to you is you can talk to their team for how to enroll into this, right? And get the classes as soon as possible. Make a target that now if you're starting by Jan 15, every day one classes, if you can watch, definitely you will be able to do it successfully. Some students were telling me, sir, can we take after prelims? Because after prelims, it would be very, very difficult because at that time, if you're watching classes, efficiency reduces. You're not writing prelims just for the sake of writing, right? If you write prelims, if you crack prelims, again, mains also should be cleared. But if you start now, possibility is more. So ensure the benefit is there, right? Don't think, sir, as 30% is there, after prelims, I'll read and I'll complete. Then it will be always shortcut, which is not successful for long. And then, I will also be available, guys. I will take some special sessions for you people separately, Sambhavam team, so that when you have doubts, clarifications and all, I'll have separate sessions for you so that comfortably you can ask by making note of those, right? So if you have any doubts, guys, any significant doubts, you can ask me. Majid is saying book is enough because he not explained concepts as needed. Ma'am, let me tell you one thing. Like you're talking about urban social, correct? Most of these questions, how to write notes, what to do, I will give, ma'am. Because even Indian geography questions, how to write answers is not explained by any standard book. For example, in India where Naxalism is present, right? This is a geography question. Naxalism is present where forest is more. Naxalism is present where, like, minerals are more. Naxalism is present where 2 or 3 states meet. This type of answer is not there in any books. So these books are meant for reference. Reference in the sense, let us say, you want to know what all I need to cover under this, right? You should use it like a dictionary. When you don't understand certain concept, open that, read for the language. And in my experience, there is no need of these aspects, but still, like, if I say no books at all, it doesn't work. That's the reason I have told. But all the topics I would provide by myself. Second most important thing I want you people to know, every word in the syllabus and every previous year question, I'll ensure that I am doing it, guys. Ma'am, GC Leong world climate, where world agriculture, world population, you have to read last 13-14 chapters. But that anyways, we will be covering in GS and optional as well. So no need to worry. No need to worry specifically about GC Leong. We are planning to start as soon as possible. The art team will approach you and, like, maximum by this month end we'll be starting this. Yeah. So I'm a fresher. I don't know anything about the paper. See, it's not about fresher or so, because 1 year is what UPSC expects you to prepare. For example, I am preparing from 5 years, let's say. You can never match with my caliber, because with my information, because I would have read. But what happens? 5 years of information UPSC never asks. UPSC asks only that 1 year. So that 1 year, if you know, let's say you're giving 2025, from 2024 to 25 is important. You're giving 2024, 2023 to 24 is important. I can't know from 2020 what all happened till now. That is not expected. Then only seniors will clear. Freshers won't clear. But majority of the times, freshers clear this mainly because of the aspects. Yeah. So guys, about how to join and all, anyways, like, the team will come to you. They'll talk and get back. 2025, if you are giving, guys, please start now, because by June, if you can complete your entire coaching, immediately after June, you can start writing and practice. First attempt, you will be in the list. No doubt. 2024, you can try very well now. If your revision is not enough, 2024 revision is important. If you can give more hours and revise, it would be easier. 2025, it's a cakewalk if you can do it in a systematic manner. How to practice maps, that comes in paper 2. Guess map questions are very, very easy, because whatever you read is from GS, and the same questions will be asked. That is not difficult. I'll help you out with respect to that. And I'll be doing map based for other works as well. K. Siddhartha book is, ma'am, the book was made when you had in detail, like, some books were written long back. The same books are continuing even today. So that doesn't make any sense. Don't waste your time specifically for that, because however you prepare, 2-3 places you won't be knowing, remaining 7 you can do. And each question is for 2 marks. So taking risk is worth with that. So guys, I hope we have cleared most of the doubts. Again, we'll have a session based on the joinings and all. So hopefully you enjoyed the session. If anything is there, please let us know. Thank you.